Hi, welcome to Grey Horse Yoga. I'm Gina, for those of you who do not know me. So I wanted to do a short sequence today that's going to open up a little bit through the hips and also help us to determine if we have a shortness or tightness in one side of the body. If you do, if you're shorter, if you're have shorter muscles on one side of the body than the other, it can affect your seat bones in the saddle. I know this personally because I have been a dental hygienist for 35 years. And if you know when you get your teeth cleaned, how the dental hygienist kind of sits over you like this side gets, for me, being right-handed, this side is short. So I constantly have to struggle to get my right seat bone in the saddle because this side of my body is short and pulls it up. So we're going to experiment a little bit with that today. So from a standing pose, just go ahead and step your feet wide to the side and start initially with your toes pointing straight forward. And as you have the toes point straight forward, think of finding an even connection with all four corners of the feet. So the ball joint of the big toe, the inside of the heel, ball joint of the little toe outside of the heel. Think of the kneecaps lifting. You can keep a tiny little bend in the knees or a bigger bend if you have issues with the hamstrings, but you don't want to lock the knees back. So think of engaging the muscles in the legs so that the knees don't lock. Then go ahead and turn your toes towards the outside corners. If you are standing on a yoga mat, you don't need a yoga mat for this particular sequence. So in this nice wide stance, we're going to bring the hands to the inner thighs, bend the knees, and bring the feet out to the side. So we'll just start getting a little of the knees, out to the side. So think of aiming your knees towards the end of your mat. So we're getting a nice opening in the inner thigh, which is good for us in the saddle. Imagine that you're riding a ginormous draft horse here. So here's your position in the saddle. Again, but with our position in the saddle, we would not have the toes turned out this far, but it's a great stretch in the hips. So hands to the inner thighs and just shift a little side to side. So get a little opening through the hips and through the inner thighs. Good. And then come back to center, press into the feet, straighten the arms, straighten the legs, straighten the arms, straighten the legs. And then from here, let the hands come down by your side. Take a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, gently just slide the right hand down the right side of the body a little bit, coming a little bit into a lateral flexion, and just feel the length in the left side of the body. Keep your sternum facing forward. Resist the temptation to collapse here. We want to find the true stretch up the side of the body. And then come back up to center. And then take the left hand, slide it down the left side of the body as you reach over to the left. So we feel that stretch on the right side of the body. And then do that a couple times. So as you go side to side, notice, first of all, where you're feeling the sensation. You might feel the stretch in a different place on one side of the body versus the other if you're tighter in those muscles on that side versus the other side. So just notice that. And then notice your range of motion too. You might feel like you go further over to one side than the other. Much easier for me, this is same side, it's much easier for me to go, I'm mirroring you guys, so for me to go to my right, which is left here for you guys, is much easier because that's my short side. And back. So it's same as finding our hollow side and our stiff side on our horses. Which way is it easier for you to bend? And then come back to center, bring the arms overhead. Same thing here, just reach a little up with the left arm to start with, and then reach a little up with the right arm. Just feel that stretch. So do that a couple times on each side. So not really going sideways yet, but just feeling the stretch. And then bring the right hand to the hip, reach up and over to your left, to your right. So again, make sure you keep the sternum facing forward. So just think of, you're in the saddle, sternum facing forward, not collapsing to the side. So you're feeling that true stretch to the side of the body. And then come all the way back up, float the right arm up, bring the left hand to the hip, and then reach up and over to the left. So again, you're getting that same indication of noticing which side is easier for you to go to. When you ride your horse, usually it's easier for them to bend one way or the other, and it can be the same way for us too. And then come all the way back up, float that left arm back up. Exhale, release the hands down, bring the hands to the heart. And then once again, let's bring the hands to the hips, bend the knees, bring the hands to the inner thighs, and let's do that just a little release, side to side. Good. and then pressing into the feet, come all the way back up, bring the arms out into a star position this time. So fingertips extend up, turn the palms up, bend the elbows, bend the knees. Let's come back to a goddess pose this time. Inhale and exhale, and then bring the right hand to the hip. So this time we're going to reach up and over again to the right, and then come back up to center. This is going to mimic a little bit more what we are in the saddle, knees bent, and then hands again, left hand to the left hip, reach up and over to the left, and come back to center. Let's do that one more time on each side. Think of really pressing into the feet. Feel that nice stretch, side of the body. Good, and once more, over to your left, and then back to center. Press into the feet, bring the arms out to the side, release the hands down, turn the toes back to center, heel, toe the feet back in. So there we have a little sequence that we can help find our hollow side and stiff side as a rider. And again, we know how important that is to know our horse's hollow side and stiff side. So I hope that helps you a little bit in the saddle, maybe finding a little bit more even weight in your seat bones and a better alignment as you ride. And again, this is something I have struggled with for years, and I still struggle with it, hopefully making a little progress. So have a great day. I hope to see you again soon in the saddle or on the mat. Bye-bye.